as the debate on gender disparity and the role of young women in Nigerian politics takes center stage, the wife of the president, Oluremi Tinubu, has called for support for a bill that seeks to create special seats for women in the National Assembly. The bill was sponsored by the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, and has passed second reading. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has also backed the bill. Speaking during a visit from a delegation of the UK Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, the Senate President assured Nigerians that the 10th National Assembly would back the legislation. We're now being joined by Mma Odi, who is the General Secretary for the Alliance for Credible Elections and an established voice in support for women empowerment. Want her to take a look at the call for increased representation of women in governance, as well as making a case for fairness and justice for women. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, the country wants more female representation in governance. But it seems, as we have seen with what has played out in the last couple of weeks, that the implementation of having women be in governance and be comfortable and not under threat is a different story altogether. What do you make of this bill and its creation and its implementation?
Okay, we have worked, have supported the creation of special seats for women. In the last Senate, the ninth one, it was killed, but there's new vigor and energies to ensure that it is passed at the National Assembly. And I'm also happy that the wife of the president, a good one, is also in support. And so many people are in support, both women and like-minded men. And also, you know that plaque, as headed by Clement Nwankwo, have worked tirelessly for the creation of that special seat for women in Nigeria. And we believe that one of the ways to address the historical injustices against women political participation in decision-making and in structure of representation is to have a kind of affirmative action to bridge the gap and end the oppression and exclusion of women. And you know Nigeria needs women. The world needs women. Now we are talking about peace everywhere. If you bring women to the table, the women will bring peace, naturally, because they are the wives of the men that are killed in the battlefield. They are the mothers of the young men killed in the battlefield. So the women will not want to suffer to become widows. Neither do they want to lose their male children. So that's why they work tirelessly to ensure that peace is achieved. And if you see what is going on, we don't want to be seeing women to settle political scores by the men as tools, because we have actually worked as a movement over the years to see that women, the injustice against women political participation is also bridged. And when we see our women being used against women, it saddens our hearts, because women, we work together, we fight together, because we have a common destiny. I have worked in the south, work in the east, west, and north. I see that we have common challenges facing us as daughters, as wives, as mothers, as aunties and us, the same challenges facing women. And the only way we can resolve these issues, when we work together, we collectively raise our voice and said we need these injustices against us women to be stopped. And we work together as women. Even when you are in Senate, if Mma Odi is not taken care of, you are not taken care of. An injury to one woman is an injury to all women. And we have to come to that realization that we are one, and we must fight together. And when we look back into 1929-31, women in the southeastern Nigeria, including the present South, they worked together. When the women started fight in Odumahia, the women who died more were from Akwa Ibom and Ogoni in Rivers and the present Akwa Ibom states. They worked together. At time will fail me to talk about of 1947 about women that rose and overthrown a traditional way because women work together, because they know we have a common destiny. Now the time is right to ensure the increase of women in decision making and structure of representation. This is the time, because the economy needs the women, the political parties need the women. We cannot confidently say we have political parties. We don't have something we don't know the name. But when you put women as leadership of political parties, you will now see that we have the true democracy we have been yelling for in political parties. And I'm saying that we have to have a strategy, that both electoral strategy from INEC, a political party strategy, and also policies to support women inclusion, and this law to support the law for the special seat for women, and also to support that the both political parties, INEC, and all male and female politicians must respect these special seats. And the women, we have to have a pool of women, that we have competent women who understand the issues, that will go, women who are interested in the welfare of fellow women, interests and concerns of women and the men and citizens generally. For youth, we have to have a pool of young women and competent women and women who understand the issues, who are members of these movements, who are not mercenaries waiting to be paid 5,000 or 10,000 to come and speak against women, who are going to occupy this special seat position and turn this country around. Because if Nigeria is working, the women will be better for it. Women are carrying so many families. The economy is down. Everything is down. Women will go to market and forget their names because the money in their hands is not enough to purchase anything. School fees is going higher. Our health care is high, and the women are the health care givers. So if health and education is working, women, some of the burden have been removed from their shoulders. Women are interested in a Nigeria that works because they are the biggest beneficiaries.
Well, very well said, Mma. But I would like us to talk about some of the barriers that prevent women from participating in politics and holding leadership positions in Nigeria. How can we begin to tackle these barriers? If we deal with these barriers, is it possible that we will not be talking about special seats because more women will be comfortable coming out to contest for office?
The first barrier is to see women, you and I, as human beings, our humanity, to recognize and appreciate us, and also appreciate our contributions and achievements. We fought for democracy. We've been fighting for democratization of Nigerian civil space since the return to civilian rule in 1999. Women have been in the forefront. We must recognize our contributions. It was from a woman finance minister we started knowing how much allocation goes to local government, goes to states. Before, it was like a secret court business. So we have achievements of women to support our hearing. We have to recognize that women and men are equal partners in building a society, and we have to recognize our contributions. When we start seeing women as toys to be played with, as properties, when we start seeing women as human beings, and when we start reflecting on how we have discriminated against women over the years and what we can do to redress the historical injustice, when we now start making political participation, enabling environment, not making it as political parties, highest bidder to purchase it, and also political participation have to pay. If we can reduce money influence in politics and also run the political processes as business not to pay and buy and purchase. Business in the sense that if you say meeting is going to hold from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., it has to be so. You will not be chatting. You will call for meeting for 3 p.m. You will chat till 10 p.m. and you start the real meeting by 11 p.m. when you know that women will want to go and see whether their children are being okay at home and husbands. So we have to run this as an effective business enterprise. So when we start doing that, and when when we now start looking for those who can deliver this country, not those who can bring money for us to share and go and wait for another 4 years, we have to reduce the influence of money, buying and selling at the political party levels. Even in the world's congresses, we must reduce the influence of money. We must remove all the obstacles, recognize women, not as one who cook for them and clap hands for them and fight among themselves. Because when you see people in a crowded form, the people who tend to fight among themselves for the small things that are coming from the big guys. We need to remove all the obstacles. And we must recognize women as human beings. That's when we start. That women are human beings, and special human beings for that matter, that have different interests, concerns, and the things they want to do for themselves. Because they are the only ones who carry children in their womb, are the only ones that raise families, they give care to families. So we have to recognize and make the political process an enabling environment that will accommodate the interests and concerns and needs of women, and make it in such a way, from political party, from INEC, or from policies and the legal framework, make it in such a way that it will be conducive for women to participate. And also, when we have a credible INEC chairman and the national commissioners that will make sure that we have free, fair, peaceful, inclusive, and credible elections, one of the battles is already won. Because women, when they contest and win, they will win the election. And we have to carry sustained campaign that we women are human beings. And the men have to lead the pack. They have to be the head of it.
Very well said. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Mma Odi, the General Secretary for the Alliance for Credible Elections.